What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. Let's get straight to the point. Talk about some ridiculous Russian propaganda. Oh, okay. Finally, battle Babushkas once again. So, we have today only one of them, unfortunately, but she still presents us a lot of confusion, a lot of ridiculousness, a lot of funny statements. And this one is the main head battle Babushka, chief battle Babushka. So long story short, she is wearing merch by Kanye West. The merch is oversized, the merch is wrinkly as you can see, and Battle Babushka is like, it is not quite to my liking. I ordered whatever size, let's say so large, but it looks like you send me XXL large. What is this? Like, it looks like I'm just wearing a sack of potatoes. This is ridiculous, Kanye West. Please return me money. But we're still waiting for your concert in Russia, because apparently for some reason Russian people like your songs. And honestly, yeah, you would expect a little bit better quality of merch from such a popular person as Kanye West, but you know what? Which merch actually has a much better quality? Our new Russian Dude summer collection. These shorts are incredibly soft, guys, you have no idea. Imagine sweatpants, the coziness of sweatpants, which are in fact shorts. So whenever you go to the beach or wherever, you can remove them and even use them as a pillow. They're the softest shorts I ever tried in my life, guys. These are absolutely incredible. If you want to go check them out, they're on the website therussiandude.com. And if you subscribe to Patreon, you will have also 20% discount. All these links are down below. Well, enough with this very subtle promotion of the Russian Dude merch. It almost felt like I did not promote anything, right? Wink, wink. And now let's talk about some serious stuff. First of all, we're gonna talk about Vladimir Putin. He said that he is accepting the peace proposal by Donald Trump, so that's gonna be our first and also very controversial chapter of this video. So long story short, yes, Vladimir Putin, he did mention that he partially even watched the debates between Trump and Biden, even though he is so busy, he did not have time to watch all of them. And he also did hear, most likely because of Peskov or somebody else, he did hear about the proposal by Donald Trump, in case he is elected, to end war in Ukraine as soon as possible. Putin said that, yes, we are seriously considering taking this proposal, because we do know that Donald Trump is a man of his word, but we don't know what are the conditions, so we will be very curious to hear the exact details of this peace plan 2.0. But yeah, in one way or another, we are accepting whatever he's gonna say. But then Vladimir Putin also added that at this very moment, the ceasefire is completely impossible on the territory of Ukraine, specifically along front lines, because you can never trust Ukrainians. Yes, these are the words of Vladimir Putin. He is saying that you can never trust Ukrainians because as soon as you do ceasefire, they are the ones who will take this time to regroup their forces, resupply themselves, bring more ammunition from the West, and then attack Russia once again. Yes, I'm not talking about the army, I'm talking about Putin, about Ukraine. He then also said that the negotiations between Russia and Ukraine must be direct. It will not be possible to do peace talks without either of the side participating. But then he added that, well, if such peace talks do take place, we will consider the results of them. We will consider what to do next with the results, with the outcome of these peace negotiations. Pretty much as always, it can be summarized Putin being extremely vague, not being serious, not saying any certain conditions, once again trying to show the rest of the world that it is Russia who does not decline the possibility to stop this war as soon as possible. It is Ukrainians who do not want to do it. But at the same time, Russia presents such absolutely impossible to fulfill requirements from the Ukrainian side, for example, immediate surrender. Well, so obviously for this reason Ukraine does not want to take these peace agreements presented by Russia. Okay, next let me give you a very brief update from the Ukrainian front lines, and we're also gonna talk about the friendly fire inside the Z army. First of all, right here is the video from Rostov, where local residents reported some very loud noises last night. And then is the video from Tambov, we can clearly see a Ukrainian drone, and long story short, a gunpowder factory. Well, you can only imagine the consequences. And then also in Sverdlovsk region on the territory of Russia, another fuel and lubricants factory, military lubricants, just so we're clear. It was also with a lot of fire, as you can see from this video, which unfortunately is just so much fire, I even had to censor it. Next we have a video from the Russian freedom fighters, Russian Volunteer Corps, and they released this, a 6-minute compilation of their combat footage from Vovchansk, from the liberation of the city, whenever they were helping Ukrainians to fight, almost, I would say, against their own comrades, because it was Russians against Russians, but the mindset makes them completely different people. Once again, the video is 6+ minutes long, it is full of FPV footage, from body cam footage, things like this. Very interesting thing to see. It is Friday, guys, so once again, if you want to see full and uncensored version, it will be on my Patreon, the link is down below. Next we have a video from Pokrovsky frontline, where Russians tried to once again initiate an offensive, but Ukrainians were able to easily repel it, destroying several military vehicles along the way. And then in Klishivka, where Ukrainians unfortunately previously lost some positions, here is yet another video from the Ukrainian soldier, which is showing a small raid where they were able to retake these previously lost positions. But unfortunately we do have some bad news coming from the Russian side. They were able to advance closer and even enter a couple of settlements in Donetsk region, such as Sokil and Vashod, and they were also able to enter another settlement in Kharkiv region, and this one is called Sotnitsky Kazachok. And then unfortunately Ukrainians were also had to withdraw from one of small neighborhoods in Chasiv Yar, because I mean at this point the city is not existent anymore, so there is literally unfortunately not that much left to protect, so Ukrainians just took a little bit more advantageous positions. And another bad news, this time bad news for the Z army, is that the incidents of the friendly fire, they pretty much never stop all the way since the beginning of this so-called special military operation, such as for example one of the most recent and notable one, according to this British intelligence report, happened approximately in May, where one Russian soldier from the Storm Z unit, these are pretty much prisoners who were issued weapons. So long story short, there was some kind of disagreements between this person and the entire unit of regular Russian conscripts, I would imagine, or contract soldiers. And well, the Storm Z guy, well, he did not find anything better rather than to just say, "Thank you for your service, comrades, your contract is terminated immediately." And he proceeded with, well, you can imagine what. Because yeah, what could go wrong if you give weapons to a prisoner and send them to Ukraine? I don't see any problems with this. And previously the incidents sometimes were starting due to the most basic things, such as for example whenever Russian soldiers, instead of water, they were drinking too much vodka, and some using some stuff, well, it just never ends, right? And ultimately, to summarize this chapter, as of previous month, June 2024, Russians are controlling 17.57% of Ukrainian land, which includes both Crimean Peninsula and Luhansk and Donetsk, previously occupied. Which does sound like a lot, but when you take into consideration how much land they were able to capture in the entire previous month, which is only 50 square kilometers, and this is supposedly the Russian offensive stage, well, you can see that unfortunately for Ukrainians, the war reached its complete stalemate. And now let's end with a very interesting thing, because the ex-Minister of Defense of Russia, Sergei Shoigu, recently got scammed for 875 million rubles, which is like $300-400. No, I'm just kidding, it's like $10 million. And long story short, back in 2022, whenever there were contracts with the Ministry of Defense and some other private companies, well, it was the most typical scheme how these people extract money from the Russian budget. Normally we would make this an Patreon chapter, but not today, guys, because today I did some merch promotion, so I just cannot ask you for more, but please still go ahead and check Patreon, right? So long story short, let's talk about this right now here on YouTube. So yeah, back in 2022, the government issued 1.5 billion rubles, more than half of it, 875 million, were stolen as a result of this, and this was a contract with the Ministry of Defense. Most likely this was related to uniforms, munition, production of military-related equipment, things like this. And this was in the very beginning of this special military operation, whenever Russians had to use whatever they had as much as possible to have a shocking effect against Ukraine. Well, the greed in Russian government, it never stops. This is just one of the reasons why the Z army was not able to advance significantly, was not able to achieve its ephemeris, whatever goes. Because yes, the corruption within Russia is extremely big. No matter what's gonna happen, no matter what's happening, the corruption will still be there. And the money got stolen just with the textbook style. There was like a company which was created just like, less than a year ago. They signed the contract, they won the tender, they promised the very best of everything. Well, then somehow whenever they did win their tenders, somehow something changed, they could not fulfill the obligations, eventually they even filed for bankruptcy, and then this big large sum of money, it got spread to smaller individual companies abroad, way before sanctions hit Russia. So it is pretty safe to say that at that point the Minister of Defense of Russia, Sergei Shoigu, got scammed for this much money. And well, what are the consequences? Absolutely nothing. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you did like this style of daily news update. Don't forget about extremely soft shorts or like this, just like a pillow. You can find them on our website, russiandude.com. All the other useful links are down below. Thanks so much for watching. See you tomorrow.